So here's where I wanted to pretty much tie in from the last video, and that's basically like this, man. You know, the more conscious you become, you should actually be happier. You should actually be living a better life, the more consciousness and the more spiritually inclined you become. Because it's funny how, you know, I went through this stage where I started becoming aware, and I started gaining a lot of information, a lot of knowledge and whatnot. And that could be a detrimental thing for you if you don't know what you're doing or if you're not balanced. And I'm going to explain why. Because, see, when I didn't know anything about consciousness, spirituality, or anything like that, I was living a very comfortable life. I mean, I was living deliciously, having women of all kinds, you know what I'm saying, every weekend, whatever. And I was making a lot of money. And, you know, I started becoming conscious and aware only because I was learning information. But conscious is basically, is coming down to what you're becoming aware of. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that I became aware of these things, I started to look at the system that I am operating in with disgust, and I started to put myself in a victim mode. My beliefs started to change and my reality started to change. You know what I'm saying? So now my passions toward the job that was actually keeping me living deliciously left me, because my mental state changed, my frequency changed, my mentality changed, my beliefs changed. Everything kind of went, you know, out the door. And it's more or less like this. You become a Satan to these lights, which is basically, knowledge is light. You know what I'm saying? And you become a Satan. Satan means adversary. You know what I'm saying? So now you start to look at the system outside of you, and you start to say, you know, fuck the Matrix, this is an illusion, and all that good stuff. And I'll tell you right now, the way you feel about the system outside of you is the way the system outside of you will treat you back. Because the shit is all you anyway. You know what I'm saying? We talk about the Matrix, the architect, this and that. This Matrix was designed a certain way, but don't forget, the Matrix is all in your head, and you are creating your own Matrix. So whatever you hate about your reality is something where you have to sit down with yourself and ask yourself, is this in my heart's desire, or is this shit that I've done throughout my lifetime in my dormant stage? You know what I'm saying? And I was operating from ego, or I just didn't know any better. You know what I'm saying? But if that's the case, it's not to live your life in regret either, because there's also a fine line with that as well. It's basically going to come down to, you know, becoming aware and conscious, and then, you know, integration. You know what I'm saying? You look at this outside world as a blueprint to what's going on within you. And then when you start to get in tune with that, you should be living deliciously, even when you become conscious and aware. You know what I'm saying? See, everything's energy. You know what I'm saying? And your energy is now where you're going to be using your energies differently and wisely. You see, before you would have that hustle and bustle mentality, you're using that energy. Now you use another form of energy. You use spiritual energy now, because it's all spiritual, and you know you're a spirit. You're a spiritual, you're a spirit in a human body. You know what I'm saying? And what's happening is that everything starts from a thought. You know what I'm saying? And if it starts from a thought, you know what I'm saying, you add your emotions in there. You see, these emotions are something that you use. You don't let these emotions get the best of you. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say, oh, I let my emotions get the best of me. I don't know what I was thinking. You know what I'm saying? Or I became too emotional. No, you use the emotions, because here's the thing. This is the beauty part about having this body, is that you're feeling. You could feel in this. This is why you know what a piece of chocolate tastes like. You know what an orgasm feels like. You know what I'm saying? But it's like things just became perverse. You know what I'm saying? We talk about universe, omniverse, multiverse, but what about perverse? You know what I'm saying? Now, we have 5 physical senses. We're experiencing this reality in the human flesh through 5 physical senses. You know what I'm saying? And we say this is all an illusion or whatnot. So think about this though. If it starts in your mind, okay? Because they say the mind is all, the universe is mental, right? And the way it starts is from a thought. So what you want to do is you want to make sense of what's in your mind. You know what I'm saying? What you're trying to create. And that's what you make sense of with your senses. You get what I'm saying? You use your emotions and the feeling. That's what your body is like an instrument. It's a tool. And you bring that thought down. You bring that energy down and ground it so that it flowers over here. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when we start to talk about, you know, I hate the Matrix, you know, it's basically, it's all gonna treat you the exact same way back. See, my mentality, when I started becoming conscious and aware, is basically anger toward the government, the system. I got into conspiracy theories, and that's what I got back. You know what I'm saying? I was getting all that back. It was showing me exactly what I was putting out. It was showing me the same thing right back, and I was putting a lot of emotion into it. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, but I started to say that this game is only an illusion, but I gained all my knowledge outside, and the more I got knowledge, the more indoctrinated I become, the more rabbit holes I went down. You know what I'm saying? And it gets to a point where you become drained and you become depressed. And if you look at it from the eyes of a child, you know what I'm saying? The more conscious and the more spiritually inclined you become, the happier you should be to live. You know what I'm saying? You get an understanding to, you know, if you're in the middle pillar, you'll start to understand polarities. So just understanding polarities, let's say, you know that you came into this existence and you're on your road, you're on a life sentence, you're on your way to death. I don't care if you're 1 year old, 2 years old, you're dying. You know what I'm saying? The older you get, the closer you are to dying. So if you're going into understanding the way polarities look, in order for you to understand and fully say, I want to live my life to the fullest, I want to have the best experience, then you have to know how to die. You know what I'm saying? But dying is not the way that people look at dying. The way religious, you know, folks are indoctrinated into looking at how death is. It's basically, I could be in a relationship and I say, I deaded that relation. Nah, I deaded with her. I dead that relationship. Deading is just letting something go. You know, transforming or transmuting things. So if something is not transmutable, you transform it. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy part is that throughout that whole process of when I was becoming conscious and aware, I died from the reality that I was experiencing, where I was like running all, you know, about 144,000 stores. I mean, 144 stores up in the Northeast. You know what I'm saying? Taking care of international sales, you know, traveling and whatnot. It was a delicious lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I was getting paid to travel, you know, Mexico and all different parts. And I didn't, you know, I thought it was great. And then I started becoming conscious aware. I lost the passion for that. You get what I'm saying? So I became an adversary to those lights. And now I started to look at life a little bit differently. But I started becoming depressed and aware. And I noticed that a lot of people are becoming depressed and aware. But I also feel that where they want to go, they're arguing in the wrong place. Like, for example, I'm looking at this, you know, Joe Biden, Trump debate. And every time that Trump gets into a debate, they always ask Trump to show his tax records. Okay. And what's happening is that then it gets people to say, yeah, how come he never shows his tax records? He never pays taxes. You know what I'm saying? Or he doesn't pay taxes. You know, and then you put yourself in that state where that's a blind consent to you saying we should be paying taxes. In other words, you know, it should look like this, where when you hear that, you'd be like, yo, fuck Biden, man. But we shouldn't even be paying taxes to begin with. Because the moment you even get mad that let's say Donald Trump never shows his tax records, you know what I'm saying? That's you saying that it's okay for us to be paying taxes out here, when that's not even normal to me. You know what I'm saying? Like the argument from everybody should be like, yo, why is he even, like, fuck that. We shouldn't be paying taxes. So no, he doesn't have to show that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about everything that and how it's presented and the energy and attention that you put towards certain arguments, which is literally a consent, and because they look for a reaction from you. You know what I'm saying? And it's where you're consenting without knowing you're consenting. You know what I'm saying? Just by getting into that, entertaining that argument. You know what I'm saying? Where the argument should be, no, we shouldn't be paying taxes. Fuck it. He shouldn't even be showing that shit. You know? So, I don't even know where the fuck I was going with that, but, so yeah. So whatever. I mean, basically the point of this video is, you know, the more spiritually inclined you become, the happier you should be. Because check this out. So you got inspirations. Do you notice how when you hang out around bad people, they say, oh, that's a bad influence? You know what I'm saying? So don't forget that your vibration is going to be determining, you know, who you hang around and what you're entertaining. You see, this is the thing with people. They become conscious, they stop watching TV. But then they're watching YouTube all day. You know what I'm saying? And YouTube has reality shows, has as much shit that's indoctrinating as TV does. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing here is not even just with those reality shows or anything like that. It's coming down to alternative media, alternative news channels. You see a lot of these YouTubers, either they're agents or they're agents or they're playing the agent part and don't know that they're agents. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of the shit they're saying, man, is just basically no different than what you hear on CNN or, you know, the news media. It's no different than that. You know what I'm saying? In actuality, it should just come down to the point where all that shit really doesn't fucking matter. See, the thing is, your body doesn't know the difference between a real and a fake experience. You know what I'm saying? And that's why when you go into these shows, these reality shows, and you start to see these things, you're having an experience, and then you go back to your mundane life. You know what I'm saying? And because you became all this, you know, knowledge about what's going on out here, you get depressed because it doesn't match what you were experiencing in the show you were watching. And then all of a sudden now it gets you to the mind state where you need to chase something. Where in actuality, man, you have to know that all these things are you, and then you could just attract these things with your mind and your vibration and your emotions. You got all the tools. You don't really need anything. All the tools are within you. You just have to know how to use the tools. You know how to use the computer. You hack your computer and you basically attract and manifest anything that you want. I mean, there is no limitations. You can have anything you want. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically maintaining a flow state. See, this is the thing. This is what I'm noticing. A lot of the times, whatever you desire, your heart's desire, okay? Like, you'll have what your ego wants, and then you'll have, like, your true heart's desire. Because, you see, anagram for heart is earth. You know what I'm saying? But what your true heart's desire, not what the earth illusionary lights, the luxury is showing you. I'm talking about your true heart's desire, what's really going to light you up from inside. You know what I'm saying? Because lux measures light. That's how you get the word luxury. But when you find out where your true heart's desire is, you know what I'm saying? Then you ask yourself, you know, is this what I am in line with right now? It already manifested. When you ask yourself that and you know what it is that you want, it already exists. But now, since we're here on a linear timeline, then it takes time for things to come into our reality. But that's all based on vibration and your frequency. It could come to you faster if your vibration and frequency is up high. But the thing is, we go through distractions, and certain distractions get us off course or off that pipeline for us to receive what it is that we have already brought into this existence with our thought. You know what I'm saying? Which is why it's important to go into flow states with certain things that you like to do that keep you in a high vibration, such as like gardening or drawing or things that you like to do. See, when you already thought about it or did a ritual, it is already done. You let it go. You don't think about it. Because if you put too much mind into it, now you're thinking about stuff that has nothing to do with you, like the process, or, you know what I'm saying, getting into how it's supposed to manifest. You're supposed to be in that end goal already. You think in the end by then, and then don't think about how you get it. You just got it. That's it. And then shit just happens. You know what I'm saying? And that's things that have occurred in my immediate reality of how I've seen things work. You know what I'm saying? But based on that, the more conscious and aware you become, you should be happier. You know what I'm saying? Your life should improve. Your life should get a lot better. But if it's not, it's because you're not integrating this blueprint outside of you is you. You know what I'm saying? If you're demonizing anything out here, you're basically demonizing yourself. And it takes a motivation from you, the inspiration, your spirit. You work that through breath, of course, respiration. You see spirit and respiration, which is your breath. Breathe properly. But I mean, that's all I basically wanted to talk. I'm not going to go too long on this one, but that's all I wanted to talk about. So we'll talk soon.